you have to be very, very intentional about your relationship with your husband, about your relationship with your spouse, about your relationship with your children. Hello, my lovely viewers. I am Uche in Miracle Creation. On this space, I do videos centered around relationship, faith, and lifestyle. So, if you're a returning subscriber and OG, thank you so much for always coming back to support me. But if you're new, I am super elated to have you to be part of this family. Kindly go ahead and subscribe already if you've not, and notification bell, kindly hit it so to get informed on time each and every single time I post a new video here. Thank you so much in advance. So like you can see, I'll be discussing on a very, very sensitive topic today, which is divorce and why, or the causes of the high rate of divorce. So about a couple of days ago, I attended a youth program in my church, and the topic or the theme for that program was centered around couples, and it was couples goals or not. And I really was so happy that I was part of that program, because I got to hear people's diverse opinions on why there is a high rate in divorce. And like you all know, before divorce, there's a thing called marriage, and marriage was instituted by God. God is the institutor of marriage. Marriage is a very beautiful thing, a very wholesome thing that a man and a woman can enjoy, and enjoy mostly when you're doing it the right way, or when they are both doing it the right way. And what's the right way? God's way is the right way. And now, according to statistics, over 50% of marriages end in divorce. And it's so sad to know as well that whilst they are being affected by this divorce, their children also, that if there are children in the picture, they get to be affected as well. And this is a very, very saddened, experience. And now, just like we all know, there is no smoke without fire. Before a couple would come and say they want to annul or separate or go their both separate ways, despite the fact that they have children in the picture, there are various factors that must have prompted that kind of a decision. Horrendous and really turbulent one at that. And before I go straight into stating few of the so many factors that could cause divorce, this very sensitive term called divorce, I would want to say this. I have not been married for so long. By the grace of God, I have been married for 3 beautiful years and counting till forever, okay, with my amazing partner. Yes, and it's been beautiful. It's been amazingly beautiful. But with the little knowledge I have, gotten to know or grasp over these few years that I have been married, I can boldly and frankly say that this term divorce, it wouldn't have aggravated or heightened up to the level it is termed, because two persons involved weren't intentional, or rather tired of putting in the work to see this marriage thrive and be beautiful. Like I said initially, I have been married for 3 years and counting by the grace of God. And I would say that truly I do not have a handful of knowledge, but from the little information I have gotten here and there, and from people's experiences online and via other means, I can see that these very few factors I'm going to be stating are the cause for which divorce is on the high rate, out of the so many other causes. Alright, so like I said initially, it's a program I attended in my church, a youth fellowship, a youth program rather, and people stated a lot of instances of factors that could have stemmed, this thing called divorce. But I made mention of particular factor, and I am very sure more than three or more persons would agree with me that one of the factors out of the so many factors that can cause divorce that I'll be stating today is this: lack of commitment. Commitment is a very huge word. Most people use it without even understanding the meaning of the word. And this word commitment is so enormous. I mean, God had to send his only begotten son, and his son committed to that assignment, to that calling, even beyond his own wish, if I may say. I mean, if you have the story, or if you know the story very well, Jesus had to commit his life for the sin of mankind, for what he knew nothing of, for what he had nothing to do with. It shows and goes a long way to how commitment should be taken. You see, when there's lack of commitment, abuse is inevitable. I mean, lackadaisicality is inevitable between your spouse. It is really, really important that we get to know how efficacious the word commitment is. If you are not ready to be committed to a person, you have nothing to do with them. Name it, say in friendship, relationship with your spouse, or you're dating someone whom you're dating. The word commitment is very, very important that we understand. If I can't be committed, it means I can't be loyal. It means I can't be trusted with, with a given task, or with anything at all I have been asked to. If you're not if you are one who can be committed, it means there are so many things you would be experiencing lack in. Commitment is really, really important. And what I've come to understand is this: over the years, whatever you don't commit to would die, would fade, would be abused. If you're not committed to that business would fail. If you're not committed to that friendship, putting in sacrifices, favors, affirming and reaffirming to your spouse that you love this person, and showing it in every given way and every given sense, I am telling you that feeling will gradually fade away, and it will turn out to be a thing of the past. You have to be very, very intentional about your relationship with your husband, about your relationship with your spouse, about your relationship with your children. If you're not intentional enough to commit to them, I lie not to you, that relationship would suffer and die. Another cause for divorce is this: pressure from friends, from families, from colleagues to go marry or to go get married. This is really baseless and pointless. I mean, this is really, really awkward. Reason being that, like, I know we all know this is the contemporary world that we are all living in, and we all see it every now and then. What pressure has made lots of young people to rush into marriage, and then in less than or in short period of time they are out again. I heard of a story of a lady who rushed in. In fact, there are numerous stories, but one of the stories one of my sisters pointed out that day while the program was ongoing was this: a friend of hers who got married to a man, a wealthy man, but to see money for a recharge card, let's say for instance she wasn't working before she got married, was a problem. This man, less than a week I think into that marriage, the man has started beating her. I mean, serious abuse. I mean, physical abuse that I think in less than a month, according to what she said, I'm not so sure now, she had to leave the marriage. And it could be because of pressure. Your friends are getting married, go get married. Your friends are into relationships, go look for a spouse, go look for a partner. Your age, you're running out of age, there's no more time. This and this and that. These are flimsy and more reasons why people venture into marriage, and they rush out eventually within the space of 1, 2, 3, and even 1 year. When you know you are not ready, where you know what you really want for yourself, you would never ever let people pressure you. I know it's very easy to say, but if you truly, I mean, let's be straightforward here. If you truly know what you want for yourself as a person, you wouldn't settle. You wouldn't just succumb to any and every kind of pressure that comes your way. I mean, you get to measure what is priority to you. It doesn't matter if age is running out of time, if age is no longer on your side. It doesn't matter if your entire friends, colleagues, or cliques are all married and you're the only one left out. I lie not to you. Out of all of the people you see married, most of the people you see married, some of them are enduring their marriage, not enjoying it. Some of them are wishing they can come out, but because of the shame of what would they say, how would they see this, all my friends say, they want to endure and keep enduring until they can't enjoy it anymore and then they leave. Do not let no form of pressure, do not let no form of pressure succumb you into what you're not ready for. Marriage is a very serious matter. Marriage is very crucial. So therefore, be intentional and be really sure is what you want before you venture into it. One of the causes I actually listed out here that could cause divorce is this, or that has caused the high rate and still causing a high rate of divorce in our world today is this: you and the partner you are married to don't share the same values. This particular one should even be my number one. When you and the person you are friends with don't share the same values, there will be lots of crises, there will be lots of mishaps, there will be lots of miscommunication, there will be lots of misunderstanding, there will be lots of all manner of ordeals. You have to be very clear of what your values are. Know your values for yourself so that when you meet someone who you would want or love to venture into a dating relationship with, you won't have to go through the hurdles of questioning yourself. Are we alike? Are we aligned? What are we? Do we don't? You're Muslim, I'm Christian. I think I can manage this. No. You have to be really certain of what your core values are, because it's with that knowledge already that you will be able to flow. You will be able to make the right partner. But when it's on the contrary, I am so sorry to let you know that that marriage would not last. For instance, I do not mean to throw shade or say that my Muslim brothers and sisters are of no good. No. But let's be frank, let's be truthful here. If you're Christian and you have friends with, and you're friends rather with someone who is a Muslim, or that if you're Christian and you have friends with someone, and you're friends with someone who is a Muslim, and you start developing feelings for this person, likewise the person to you as well, you would have to recheck, you would have to reassess, you would have to sit down, pause, and checkmate this particular chemistry between you two, because you know it's either going to go forward or you put it to halt. Can you go on? Can you accept marrying a Muslim when you know you're a Christian? Are you really certain of the fact that despite the fact she is Christian and I am Muslim, we can coexist as one in that marriage? Or you just want to venture into it because you want to be termed Mrs., you want to be termed the latest married man or married woman or married lady in town? You should be very certain of what your core values are, and you should ensure that it's aligned with each other so that there be no contradiction, there be no mishap on this journey of marriage. It is very important you take note of this. Check your values and ensure they both align. Now, the last cause that I have outlined here that could result to extramarital affairs, or rather, the last cause that I have outlined here that could lead to divorce is this: having extramarital affairs while you're married. I mean, the Bible even condemns it that you keep your bed undefiled as a believer, as a Christian. Not to talk of when you are married. I mean, how do you expect the woman or the man to feel when they eventually get to know that you're having extramarital affairs outside the home? You know, I don't really understand why people find it hard to stick to what they say they really want. When you go to the altar and you say, I do, in sickness and health, I do, beyond every shadow of doubt, I am very sure this particular point is also included. Peradventure, it was a thing for you before you got married, and then you came to the knowledge of Jesus Christ and you forsook all of those terrible and behavioral traits and awkward habits and attitudes. You are only meant to understand now that you have been married, joined to be one with this woman, with this man. And so therefore, you're forsaking every other woman, every other man you used to have a thing with in the past, and endeavoring to commit to this just one person. I want to tell you this. Lack of trust can yield to divorce. This is a very, very sensitive and broad topic, but I will try my best to make it really, really, short as I can. When you breach the trust of the person you're into a marriage, you're married with, or you're married to, you both cannot coexist peacefully anymore because trust is no longer there. Love is no longer there. I mean, the union is gradually fading away. However, this particular cause is one out of so many causes of divorce, and it is so avoidable if only we can, or if only you can choose to begin to be faithful to your partner, to that man, to that woman. Living a double standard life can breach trust. Living a life that is contrary to what you made open to this partner of yours whilst you were dating him or her can inevitably yield to mistrust. So I would want to say this in a nutshell. It is God's desire, it is God's wish, it is God's aim to see his children excel and flourish in their marriage. Divorce is not the will of God. You can strive to have a God-oriented and God-centered marriage only if you're willing, intentional, and committed to putting in the work. So having said all of this, I hope I was able to shed a light on this message, on this topic. Kindly go ahead and give us suggestions and give us other highlights to this topic. What you think could cause divorce and how it can be curbed or how it can be solved. Yes. So do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Do not forget to like my video and share it. Do not forget also to leave a comment below. Make this topic an interactive one right there in the comment section below, and I'll meet you next time. God bless you.